There's one number he puts out there, and I don't think it's by accident.
When we go into it, we will have touch base with every team above us, below us. Hey, they're interested in moving up. They're interested in coming out. We'll guesstimate what it'll cost to move from 20 to 7 and from 20 back down to 32.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He said this yesterday.
He tried to do it kind of like easily and sort of fly-by-night-ish, like, I was 7 or 32.
And I'm watching this thing, and as soon as he said it, I went, wait a minute. Because if there's one thing we've done in Western Pennsylvania these past 4 months, we've studied this frickin' draft.
Upside down, backwards, inside out, yeah.
As soon as he said 7, I said, hold on. I said, Self, hold on. The Giants have 5 and 7. And in between that are the Carolina Panthers, who are said to maybe be interested a bit in Kenny Pickett. And also, everyone knows the Giants potentially are shopping that 7th pick.
Right.
But it falls just after a lot of people are saying that first quarterback's going to go, which means everybody else in the NFL is on the clock if they want to then get the second quarterback, because it could then become, all right, who's going to take that second one? Because a lot of people think there's a deep drop-off after the second one to the third one.
You've also got 2 teams at 8 and 9 who could be looking at quarterbacks. Falcons at 8, Seahawks at 9.
And not there far after, you have New Orleans, who definitely is looking for a quarterback, one would think. So when he mentioned 7, I said, first of all, I prayed a novena. Second of all, I said, dear God, which falls in line with the novena.
Yeah.
Don't let them trade up to get a quarterback. As much as I've resisted this line of thought, and I think it's the totally wrong move, I think every quarterback in this draft, his ceiling is at best one of the Carr brothers. And I've said that the whole time. I don't think any of these quarterbacks will be better than a Carr brother. I don't. I think that's the absolute best you can ask of these guys. So there's no reason to trade up for any of them. But when I hear Kevin Colbert cite a true draft position, and one that it would make sense if say, at number 6 they take Willis or number 6 they take Pickett, then 7 starts the clock on Willis or Pickett, and he cites that draft position, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I really start thinking they're thinking about this. This is lunacy if it happens, in my opinion, but I really start thinking the Steelers might do this.
They're obviously thinking about it.
For sure.
They're obviously pricing it out, right? I mean, Kevin admitted as much there. They're pricing it out, and that I'm wondering if that's the ceiling for them as far as getting to a spot without having to give up too much. And what do you deem too much? I mean, you'd have to give up either a future first, right? Or a second and a third of some combination, I would think, or multiple seconds and thirds. And maybe that's what they're comfortable with. Maybe they're comfortable trading, I don't know, this year's second and next year's third or something like that. Because I can't imagine, here's where I stop at trading up.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to agree with what you're saying, that these guys, none of these guys has a ceiling greater than, say, a Derek Carr. I think Malik Willis maybe, but it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of patience, and I don't know if anybody in the NFL has that anymore. But if you have a guy like that and pair him with a great defense, you may be able to do something. You may have the makings of something.
Why can't Mitch
really
Trubisky
good.
be that guy?
Why
can't Mitch Trubisky
my
be
personal
that guy?
opinion, I don't think Trubisky's that as good as that. But that's my opinion on Trubisky. Not to say that he's not capable of it in pockets here and there, but I don't think for the totality that's his ceiling. I think he's reached his ceiling as Mitch Trubisky. Nonetheless, the farthest I would go would be trading a second or a third or something like that, or a combination of seconds and thirds for multiple years. I'm not trading a first-round draft pick. I'm just not. I'm not trading a future first-round draft pick for any.
Well, when you go to the
guys.
sites that do the values on different picks, some of them say it's obviously going to take 20 because you trade that one up.
Yeah.
You trade your first-round pick. Some say it'll also take your second and your third this year, and bang, you have a deal to move up to 7. Or some will say it's 20, which is your first-round pick this year, next year's first-round pick, and then a mid-round pick in a future year. So I can't do that. I can't part with either a first-round pick next year or my first 3 picks this year to move up
Yeah.
13 spots. I can't do that.
No, I'm not giving up this year's second and third. I'm not giving up next year's first. If you tell me the Steelers can go from 20 to 7, and they're dead set on Malik Willis at 7, assuming he doesn't go to Carolina 6, or who knows, maybe Detroit 2, because they're always crazy. If you told me they could get from 20 to 7 without having to give up a first-round pick or a second and third from the same year's draft, i.e. this year, I'd be okay with it. I would say you're putting a lot of eggs in the Malik Willis basket, though, and you better carry them with kid gloves and take your time and be willing to have all the patience in the world to make sure that he gets developed properly to be the guy that pays off on all of